Hi everyone, Keith Wilson here, spreading a wealth of information. Listen, if you have a 401k, then inevitably you've heard of these target date retirement funds because almost all 401ks have these funds in their lineup, and you're probably aware that the further away you are from retirement, the more risk the fund will take on, and as you get closer to that target date, the fund decreases exposure and risk. And now you choose these target date funds in 5-year increments. For example, you can choose a 2025, a 2030, 2035, and so on. So if you chose, let's say, a 2050 target date retirement fund, it's going to look something like this. Let me show you how it looks. All right, for example, 2050 plan, we have this axis and that axis, or as Michael Scott would say in The Office, axis. I'm a big Michael Scott, The Office fan. Sorry. Anyway, let's look at this. Here's risk, okay? And here are the increments of the target date retirement funds. You got, whatever, 2020, 2025, 2030, 2035, 2040, 2045, and here, 2050. So let's say that is your target retirement date, 2050. So what happens is, starting now, which is 2021, and roughly 30 years from now, the risk is higher in the beginning. And as you can see, as time goes on, the risk levels out. As you get closer to that target date, retirement, in this case 2050, you see the risk level go down. So, but here's the thing: just because the year 2050 in this example has come, does not mean that you have to take it out. All it means is it's just going to have a lower risk level at that point, and also you don't have to use that target date fund just for retirement. So, for example, the other day I had a client call and they said, "Hey Keith, I've got my 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up in a savings account, but now I have another goal of saving for a down payment on a house someday." And this particular person, he had already started this savings goal. He had a pretty decent amount saved up already, and he figured it would take him close to 10 years before having the amount he needed for a down payment. So he's asking, how do I invest or save for that? But first of all, let me, if you're looking at a savings goal and your time horizon for the need of this money is, say, 3 to 5 years, that's a short-term period. I would consider just the good old savings account. Yes, I know you're not going to be earning much, but it would be liquid and you could avoid market risk. But for this gentleman, he has a 10-year time horizon, and that could be a little long, earning next to nothing in just a good old savings account. So normally, I'm not a big fan of target date funds, but for these types of situations where you have really a mid-term time horizon, in his case 10 years, for a goal in the future, you might want to consider a target date fund. And in this case, like I said, he has a 10-year time horizon, so maybe a 2030 target date fund, and the risk assets would be lower to begin with and get even lower as the time goes on. So it's going to look something like this. Okay, so what's going to happen now is, all right, same little graph. You got the risk over here, and now we're looking at 2030, which is a 10-year time horizon. But remember, the risk level was way up here before. Now it's going to start here and then start tailing down as you get closer to that time horizon. Here's the thing: there are pros and cons to target date funds. The pros would be, hey, they're simple. It's a hands-off approach because those money managers are automatically rebalancing the account for you. But the cons would be, they're not customizable. So you're beholden to what the money manager selects. And the risk is going to vary from fund to fund. So one fund company's 2030 fund might be riskier than another 2030 fund. So you're going to want to look at that. Also, I want to be clear here that in this example of using a target date fund for a 10-year time horizon goal, it doesn't mean it's risk-free. All investments involve risk, and there could be a chance of loss along the way. And some other things to consider are the sales charges imposed by the fund family, the expenses on the fund. So you're going to want to check out the prospectus of that fund, and you'll get that information before investing. Anyway, it's an idea to consider versus having your money parked in cash for 10 years. Check it out for whatever it's worth. So if you'd like to see more videos like this discussing personal finance, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. I would really appreciate it. And remember to be wise with your money.